Stennett, and as you can see, I'm not sitting in my usual studio. I'm at my office. The Wi-Fi was out, so Jordan has set everything up by phone, and here we are. And we've got a good group of people with us tonight. Nick, why don't you take over and introduce everybody?
Great. Well, first thing I want to introduce is someone you don't see here, which is Jordan. Thank goodness we have someone from the younger generation with technical savvy. I still don't know how to get my VPN working on my phone very well. So she's running this whole thing with her phone, which baffles me. It's like magic. We have Nicholas Harvey, Armand Rosamilia, and Don Rich. All of us have something in common. Everyone here, aside from having a beard, was at the NINC conference, the Novelists Inc. conference in St. Pete, Florida. And we had a lot of fun there as the tropical authors. We were jokingly referred to as the Trop Mafia because we were walking around in matching T-shirts and Hawaiian shirts. It was sort of fun to flex some muscle. And I'm going to go to each person because everybody's got some irons in the fire, and we want to hear about those. Brittnick, let me go over to you. I finally got to meet your house. You basically arrived in a house, but you just did something that I admit I'm extremely jealous of, how you pulled this together. So I know you got a book coming out, but first, can you tell us what you just got done doing?
We put together, a reader suggested it, actually, and got the wheels in motion. But we put together a 2-day diving event where we're at now in the Keys with Conch Republic Divers, who are a great operation locally here. And we had readers and fans of the books come down, and we went and dived the wrecks here around Key Largo based on Wrecks of Key Largo, which is book 11 in the A.J. Bailey series. And the weather was incredibly good for the stormy season of late September for the Keys. And we got to every wreck that we wanted to get to, and it was marvelous. Yeah, really cool.
Awesome. Armand, let me ask you, what are you working on currently? I believe I saw a new Dirty Deeds lurking in the wings. Is that correct?
Yeah, Dirty Deeds 11 will be out on the 17th, and then the 12th and final book will be out in next March.
And where are we with your new thriller series? Do you have another one of those in the wings?
I just put the pre-orders up. Me and another author, Tom Duffy. We did a trilogy, a heist trilogy, and the first, all three are actually up for pre-order, but the first one is Rock the Bells. And so that's pretty cool. That'll be out December 15th, and then January 15th, and then February 15th. So we're rapid releasing the 3 books.
Awesome. Well, we may have you back on to tell us how the rapid release goes. For those watching this, there is a means by, if you hold on to your books and drop them out, boom, 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 you can do amazing things with your ranking. So I hope that goes great. And Don, what are you up to currently?
Starting a new series called the Mobjack Mysteries, based out of Mobjack Bay on the western shore of the Chesapeake. All my previous books were over on the eastern shore of Virginia. And this is going to, the first book in the series is actually going to be a freebie that's going to everybody that's in my readers group. And you can sign up at the readers group at www.donrichbooks.com. And as soon as I'm done with it, it'll go into everybody's inbox just to introduce the series. And then it'll be followed up by Mobjack Gamble, which will be book 1 of the series, and you'll have to pay for that one.
Excellent. Well, Wayne, you just had your prequel to Jesse Land. What can you tell us about that?
Prequel or pre-series? It's a whole new series. It's a whole new series I started, taking my main character, Jesse McDermott, back in time to when he first arrived at Parris Island. Actually, even before that, in flashbacks, it goes back to his childhood. And we get to meet characters that are only spoken of in the regular series. His grandparents who raised him. Get to meet Rusty's dad. That was really cool. And it was just a lot of fun to write. It was launched on the 30th, no, the 29th. And it did quite well. It reached the top 1,000, and it's still doing really well. It's going to be in Kindle Unlimited at least until the second or third book comes out. So a long running KU.
Well, Wayne, do you want to take over here and let's talk?
Well, yeah, because we've missed one author. Nick, what have you released lately?
Wow, lately. No, it's been Deep Hex came out in the spring, and I am currently working on a Boone prequel and an Emily prequel that I hope to release almost simultaneously or close. And they basically will both end when the two of them meet.
And how long are they going to be, Nick?
I don't know yet, because I just went to the Ripley's Aquarium of the Smokies, where I had said Boone worked, and I spent 6 hours there, took 12 pages of notes, and took so much video that my phone died on me. And then I went to Kingston, and I did research there because he's going to grow up in Kingston. I'm going to try, after talking to Britt, I'm going to try to keep him to 40,000. They were going to be 50, but I'll try to keep him at 40.
It ain't going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Okay. But I can at least aspire to fail to have it too long.
They're going to be good. I mean, he's putting so much research into it. When he came down and stayed with us in Bonaire, he nipped over to Curacao specifically to research for them. And
that is true.
They're going to be good.
Cool. Well, we all just came back from NINC, so I feel like we should talk heavily about that and what we learned. I'm wondering if Don, for instance, learned how well mysteries sell, and if that's why he's got this series, or was this something you've been planning for a while?
No, I've been planning this one for a while, but I did learn an awful lot at NINC, which is Novelists Inc., which it's a tough group to get into. You have to sell a certain amount if you are traditionally published, and then if you are independently published, like all of us, you have to sell about 3 times as much in order to get in. So they're all professional writers, and there's just a tremendous amount of information that I brought home. So many notes like you at the aquarium.
No, that's true. I have my NINC. Oh, I have blur background, so I don't think I can do that. But I've been slowly going through my NINC to do. What's that?
I just keep my notes on the little cards they put in the there by the table where the snacks and everything are. Grab 2 or 3 of those cards, and I'll fill 3 or 4. I'll fill those up, stick them in my computer bag, go to the next one, and do the same thing.
I guess that works. I like to put this in my my taxes. Once I take all the notes, I put it in there because I'm going to expense the whole trip. And I could say, look,
yeah,
this is what I did.
Yeah, the whole thing's expensive. That's why I tell everybody, just put everything, every meal, everything you buy, put it on your key card, and then you have one receipt. One really long receipt. Mine was 3 pages.
Oh my gosh. Well, Armand, did you learn any tricks? I consider you to be probably one of our more savvy social media users, and I don't know which seminars you attended, but did anything surprise you?
There was a lot of really good information. One of the things that I kind of learned going a couple different ones was that my brand is not in the right lane. I have over 200 releases. And one of the things was basically to look at, your sales over the last year and, figure out if you can re-energize some of those old books, or if you just cut them loose. And I came home and I printed out my book report. It was, 12 pages of books. And I took a Sharpie to it and chopped like 45 different releases from that list that just weren't on brand, haven't really made money for me in the last year, that just the self-published stuff. And so it was like a kick in the butt to say, well, I got a lot of dead wood here. I got a lot of stuff that's just sitting and old. But just doing that and then just concentrating, the 80-20, just figuring out where I'm making my money on the self-publishing stuff. And so far I'm putting all that information to good use and really just concentrating on, obviously the crime thriller stuff, and then not as much of the horror stuff, even though I have a ton of it, because a lot of that stuff just hasn't sold in years for me. So I think that for me, that was the key takeaway. That was a 4-hour drive from Tampa to Jacksonville, me and the wife, and basically her saying, I've been telling you this for years, stop writing so many horror books, stop writing all this, doing all these other, things that aren't on brand, stop writing all these other things. So I actually came home and I just erased my board completely, and I rewrote my schedule for like the next 2 years of things that made sense to release and stuff. And it really helped me. And there's a list of books that I was going to work on, and I'm like, it's just not on brand, because we write for fun, and it's the old, if even if I wasn't getting paid, I don't know how it would help pay the mortgage or anything, but I want to make money. I want to make more and more money. And I think for me, the key is just to stay on brand of what you're doing and what you really love doing. And for me, it's the thrillers.
I think I was in the same presentation, and the idea of going back and looking at, especially like you, with a really large backlist, and just cutting the dead wood and finding out what you can do to maybe rejuvenate. And there's a lot of tricks.
Yeah,
A lot of notes were taken.
I went to that same one and thought, well, if I look at just numbers in the last year, I might cut Zombie Bigfoot loose, but I'm planning on doing the opposite and rebooting it and rebranding it, and possibly changing my name on there so that I don't drive my also bought results into madness. Well, let's see, Brittnick, you came out with the Missing in the Keys, which would you say that's a mystery, or is that action adventure thriller?
It's action adventure thriller. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And it's probably for Doug, it's right, for Douglas Pratt, my co-author on it, it's kind of right in his wheelhouse of his series. And for me, it's a shift closer to the middle of the kind of RC adventure gang, closer than my other two series are. Although Nora gets closer that way, it's still in a corner of the genre, as it were, and AJ's in a different corner from it. So this is more mainstream, I think. Yeah. Man, you leave that conference. I did last year. Last year, I actually felt I left and I was pretty overwhelmed. I came away with just mass notes, and you get back and you're like, oh,
Where do I start?
Yeah, I gotta just, and I did make the mistake of trying to do too many things and some of the things that weren't right. And I really went into it this year going, I'm going to be a sniper rifle, not a shotgun. And I'm looking for nuggets. I'm looking at the things that's going to move the needle in my creative life and business life. And so I was looking for those things, and I feel like I came away with them. I came away with as much probably from conversations around tables with groups like yourselves and some of the other authors that were there as I did in the presentations, about a 50-50 mix, but come away with great stuff.
Anything specific you remember going, oh my, that's something I had never thought of?
Probably the biggest thing for me, there was some marketing stuff, Amazon ad touch stuff, Facebook ads. I've actually got a meeting this week with someone about Amazon ads. But probably the biggest thing was me, some of the other genres, the way they use the bonus material they offer in the back of the books to build their newsletter lists. Most of us have a teaser, a novella or what have you that we'll give away for people on a newsletter list. But there was some pretty good ideas of how to do a better job of that with bonus chapters. So starting with Losing Summer, which is my latest that'll come out on October 22nd, just in the final edits now. It'll have a bonus chapter, so a link actually will go to my website, where if you just sign up for the newsletter, you get the bonus chapter. So it's tied in with the story that the reader has just been absorbed in, and ties up a couple of not loose ends, not cliffhangers, but details in something else. And from here on out, I'm going to do that with every book, and I'm going to go back and try and fill in at least the first 1 to 3 books in the series that I have.
I went to all 3 of the direct sales presentations. I've been saying for a couple of years now that this is going to be the big thing in 2024. And some of the ideas and some of the just razor sharp information that I took away from those, I'm already implementing. And my store's been up since spring. So I've been selling ebooks and audiobooks, and now I'm hoping to take over the #1 spot with direct sales for so far as income by the end of 2024. So that's my goal.
Well, are you finding that you're training some of your fans to do that, to step outside of their Amazon comfort zone and come to you and buy, or is it a
Oh
bit
yeah.
of a...
I'm offering $1 off any book, any audiobook, plus 10% off if you have the coupon code. The only people who have the coupon code are subscribers. So they get a $7.99 ebook for $6.99 plus 70 cents off, so $6.29. And I still make more than the $5.50 that I would get from Amazon. So they get a deal, I make more money, and it's just a win-win. And it's the new releases really are hammered with direct sales. I get a whole lot that way. But it's going to get better. It's going to get stronger. And there's actually an audience out there who doesn't buy from Amazon, doesn't buy from Barnes and Noble or Apple or Kobo. They go directly to the author. They don't buy anything other than direct. And that's the people that I'm looking for.
And that customer, you have their information. It's not just some random
email address
person.
Yeah, you'll have their name, everything.
Well, Don, we've left you out here. What would you say? Is there something that really stood out to you and maybe surprised you from all of these? Was this your first NINC?
This was my first NINC.
Gotcha.
And along with Wayne, it was the direct sales. I went to several workshops on direct sales, and then let's see, AI was a big topic of conversation, and that which has a lot of people worried and a lot of people curious. I'm more of the worried variety than the curious. And the direct sales and let's see what print has been growing in my business. And I was going through the numbers today because it's first work day of the new month, and looking back over the last year and the numbers of print books that I've been selling. And I'm going to be switching most of my print over to Ingram Sparks. I took a side trip on the way back to Ocracoke Island in the Outer Banks, and I talked to an independent bookstore owner there, and I was telling her, yeah, my books are on Amazon, and I almost got thrown out of the store. She said, we don't use the A word in my store. And I said, well, where are you getting most of your books? She says, I buy most of my books from Ingram Sparks. So that is going to be a big push of mine when I get Ingram Sparks. I'm going to be hitting all the coastal independent bookstores that I can, just getting in the truck and going and giving them a list of my books and giving away a couple of my books to see if I can't get them interested.
That's a really good idea. Take a box load of your first in series and just drop off 2 or 3 at each bookstore. And if once they start selling, then other people are going to want the next book, the next one.
Absolutely. I mean, free samples. Everybody loves free samples.
Oh yeah, they wouldn't do it at the Chinese restaurant otherwise.
Absolutely.
Well, I'll jump
Cool.
into the lag and say one of the cool things we did down there, the Novelist Inc.
We
conference.
did a lot of cool things down
We
there.
did a lot of cool things, but one thing that wasn't on the NINC schedule, we had a free dinner period, and we decided, with all of us being tropical writers, that it might be cool to go to a restaurant owned by a tropical writer and named for a tropical writer's fictional character, which I think is pretty cool. And we went to Doc Ford's Rum Bar and Grill, named for Doc Ford and Randy Wayne White's series. And Randy was able to iPad FaceTime with us, and we got to pass him around and chat with him. But it was really cool to get all of us in one place, and we had one of our super fans show up. I think she was thrilled.
And she's in the audience right now too.
Yes, I bet she is. Are you there? Hi.
Hi, Yvonne.
So we're thinking maybe next year, because NINC, you can show up a couple days early and still get the special rate on the hotel. Maybe we should get together and do a full day or at least half day signing at a Doc Ford's. Just take it over. And if you're not currently sitting at a table signing, you can sit at the bar drinking. Maybe we can arrange a shuttle so we don't have to worry about that.
Get your signature early. It's more.
Yes.
Me and Sullivan have done the brewery signings, so it's a lot of fun.
That's true. We've done 2 brewery signings and they were a blast. And I
That-
think they
that-
both.
That would be a lot of fun. I mean, we could literally rent out the whole place on a weeknight, like a Monday or Tuesday, for 2 hours, and take up, half the tables.
Yeah, this might be something to consider sending out in the newsletter that we're planning on this. And how many of you would be interested and have some kind of a clickable poll in the newsletter to see if we could get some numbers? We would have the I'll definitely be there, but then there needs to also be a I'm interested maybe, so that we can separate a bit.
Because we've got a lot of readers in that area. For some reason, people just gravitate toward that area, like what we write. That's why Randy Wayne White started his series and said it there. There's just a crazy number of great readers there.
I was really surprised when he called me when I got home. He said he was so interested in my books and was thinking about calling you guys. I'm assuming he did.
I think he's still mad about, you know what? Talk amongst yourselves and I'll put up the funny picture that Brittnick helped me take.
Yeah.
So when Marcia passed me the iPad, I looked at it. I said, "Hi, Randy. I'm Wayne Stennett." And he said something. I held it up to my ear. And I said, "What was that?" He said, "So you're Wayne Stennett."
All right.
So you're that guy.
So that tells us he did get the message.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's got a 27th book coming out.
Yeah.
And I just about to release my 27th. I thought I was going to beat him. Now we're just going to be tied again.
Keep writing. Keep writing.
Yeah, here we go. This is probably why he hasn't called me. Let's see if I can get this to
Jordy. Oh, well, I was going to have her enable sharing. Oh, yeah, that was classic.
Oh, you have a low
Wait, what
battery,
happened?
Nick.
Oh, low battery. Yeah. Oops.
You have to actually be talking so we can see the picture.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
I'm going to talk, and there we go. Now, there we go. So I'm talking. You can see my shame. Yes, that's my one. I
That
didn't know
is
what I was
classic.
doing when I started.
Who had it first?
Randy Wayne White.
Oh, yeah, that was
By
a
a
while
fair
back,
number of years.
Ow.
that
And
was
I'd always
about-
say, well, Clive Cussler had deep 6 and Randy took a deep 6, but Randy put the in front. So he was smart about it.
Deep Shadow, I think, was about 19, 20, 21 in the Doc Ford series. It was one of my favorites.
I thought you were saying it was the year 1921. I'm like, shit,
No,
we
no,
ain't
no,
that
no.
old.
It was around the late teens or early 20s in the series.
I should be pretty safe with Mob Jack.
I don't think anyone's going to take that anytime soon.
But
Oops,
I
I
was
wonder where-
talking to Nick Thacker. We've been exchanging emails and talking about Thumb. Thumb
Yes.
it's a fictional ride share like Uber and Lyft. It's spelled THUM. And he and several other authors, Nick, I think you're in on it. No, David Behrens is in.
David Behrens put it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we should all start using this. And no explanation, no, don't tell anybody what's really going on. Just people who are watching will know. But when they see the Thumb Lyft or Thumb ride share in all of our novels, they're going to start thinking it's real. And they're going to start looking for the app. And then all we have to do is create an app for tropical authors with the Thumb logo.
Oh,
I guess we're going to have to
Grab-
start a Thumb division in the Cayman Islands.
Why not?
grab the website for tropical authors so that it can feed directly to tropical authors. Ooh,
Oh, we
move
should.
moving
grab
for the
that.
pen right now.
I guarantee
checking.
Thack has already got that website, that URL.
I get Zugriff nicht erlaubt when I attempt to go to thumb.com.
Okay, cool. That means
Yeah.
it's
Somebody's
not
got it. What? No, I think it's taken by an angry German person from the looks of it.
There's more than .com. Keep searching. Keep searching.
I'm good for now. Well, does anybody have anything cool to tell us about?
I heard
There
you
was
were-
one other cool thing that happened at Nink during the dinner.
I don't have that photo. I tried
you
to
don't?
find it. No.
All right, well, keep
Well,
talking.
tell
I'll
us.
find it. You keep talking about it and I'll find it.
Well, okay. Before we go to that, Armand, what you had something to?
I just had I heard that Nick Sullivan and author Chuck Buda did some day drinking in Tennessee.
Yes.
Anything you want to share on that, or
Well, other than that, we both love beer, and that I'm usually here twice a year, and we have both decided that where we went was really cool, and they let dogs there. And I kind of want to go right at this brewery because it's open at 11 a.m. and it's quiet and dead at that point. But yeah, Chuck Buda is really cool. He started out in horror and now he has pivoted to Westerns, which is pretty neat. Okay, wait, I'm going to switch over to Wayne, except he has to talk.
All right, I'm talking. Now I guess I'll have to describe it. Right at sunset, during the big beach blowout, Nick, me, and David Behrens stepped out onto the sand and did a conchhorn salute. Just the three of us, although 12 of us were there, but the others didn't bring the conchhorns.
Well,
Nick
one
Harvey stole
did,
mine.
but he
Nick Harvey
forgot it
stole
in
mine.
his room.
Yeah, Mac Faulkner was running up to his room to get his when the sun set. He
Well,
couldn't make it
no,
back
Mac
down.
wasn't. Mac sent his
Mac's
wife
wife
to
was.
go
Yes,
get
it's
it
true. He did.
because he was still eating.
I went
Yeah.
over and asked him, I said, "Where's your horn?" He says, "My wife went up and get it. Wait just a couple of minutes." I said, "The sun's not going to wait."
I was out of the
I'm ready
country. That's my
to,
excuse.
I found how we can get a few for next year.
So bring that in closer and zoom a bit. What is that?
That is a boat outside of
Full
a
of
tourist
conchhorns.
shop in Ocracoke, North Carolina, filled with conch shells.
Cool.
Oh, did you grab a few?
No, I have one at the house, but
All right.
I'll be going back to Ocracoke before we go to Nake, so I'll pick up a dozen of them.
Load up.
Yep.
I got a fun story to share. So the dive get together that we just had, I had some great sponsors, which was superb, and Shearwater Dive Computers and my friends from Cayman Spirits, who make 7 Fathom rum, were putting up a couple of bottles of rum. And they said, yeah, you just got to come get them. So I'm like, because they're in the Cayman Islands and they can't just ship stuff internationally. And the distributor that they have in America, because you can buy it in America, but it's a separate company that distributes. So they said, yeah, it's here and we got some swag for you. And so I started on this mission of how the heck I would get 2 bottles of rum and a bunch of swag from the Cayman Islands to the Keys where the event was being held. So I put out the word to my Cayman peeps, and you know, people don't go with space in their luggage to the Cayman Islands. They're generally got full of dive gear and everything else, and they bring their own booze back, right, duty free. So I finally found the Lisa Collins, this lovely lady. She's a great photographer. She actually did the photo for the cover of the Ora Verde for me. And she was coming over for this quick visit to the States. And she said, well, I'm going to be in New Jersey. I'm like, keep talking. Where are you going to be in New Jersey? So she brought the bottles over from New Jersey. And then she was about an hour away from Nick Sullivan. And they drove together and met, but they missed because they went to, I don't know what it was, a 7-Eleven or something. And they're both
if you're in New
ones.
Jersey, don't say, let's meet at the Quick Check.
Yeah.
So after 30 minutes of waiting, you're like, which Quick Check are you on?
Yeah.
We were both on the same highway. So we were like, 206. So am I.
Yeah.
So
anyway, they finally got together, handed over the hostages, and then Nick Sullivan actually brought them to me. And believe it or not, both bottles were unopened and full when I got them, which I was really surprised.
I talked to a friend of mine who collects bottles, and I showed it. I'm like, can you find one like this? Because I want to put a fake label on it and then like Sharpie marks, like I was trying to keep track of how much I was drinking. I'll give you a quick story. This is sort of fun. I was trying to think of the wacky stuff I learned at the aquarium for the Boone prequel. And one of the most amusing was this guy, he was cleaning out one of the filters that they use in one of the main ponds. And all of the tanks and things end up going through this filter. And he opened up the filter for the first time. It was his job to clean it. And there were 13 pacifiers in there, baby pacifiers. And one of the people who'd been there the longest was just laughing and said, yeah, that's because the parents all go, ooh, look at the sharks, and then like hold them on the edge, and the baby's like, bleh, and then the pacifier goes down in there. And one of them has video, he couldn't find it, but of a triggerfish swimming around with a pacifier.
Oh my God.
All right, well, we're past the top of the hour, guys. It's been a lot of fun getting back together. I mean, we just left each other last week.
Yep.
But, it's always fun to hang out. Tonight wasn't scheduled to be at Hot Tropics, but here we are because I forgot to schedule anybody. Nink absolutely turns my mind to mush. So that's my only excuse. Thanks everybody for being on with us, and thanks to our sponsors, Down Island Press or Publicity, Pirate Radio, Tropical Authors, How Not to Sail. I think I got them all, didn't I?
Pirate Radio? Yeah, you got that one. I think so.
Okay, well, good night, everybody.
Thanks.